Hello everybody, this is Bitcoin Macro, and on this video guys I'm gonna talk about several coins. Now in this list these coins are a bit more random. There is no certain theme based on exchanges. There will be more videos coming out soon with more certain themes. I'm thinking about doing certain stuff like maybe some exchanges specifically, just like only Bittrex coins, maybe only KuCoin coins, and maybe just some larger stuff that have to do, let's say, with lending or some style of exchanges like Nexo and Celsius and Swissborg. So there will be some of those coming as well, just letting you know. But for now I would want to talk about certain coins that have been going up quite a bit, or some others that I do believe they might be coming out of nice tight range, nice tight consolidation, and might have a nice explosive move soon. Now once again, now I'm assuming that the bull market is going to continue. Okay, so these videos are for those who want to take that extra risk, maybe in a phase where, you know, small caps are not going to do well, because right now look, small caps have not done as well as large caps, at least not the last few months. But these videos are for you to prepare and just keep those coins in mind. Potentially you don't have to run and buy them right now. Maybe these happen to go up fairly soon, but just know that these are more like long term, or potentially just stuff that if you see them going well, you might want to jump into the action. So I'm giving you these coins, just bringing them under your radar in general. I wouldn't want you guys to bet too much on any of those coins. And I'm just like, you know, this is just a reminder that all this stuff have tons of risk. Okay, especially when you go down to like small caps or even micro caps, especially, or even like mid caps for that reason. Like, you know, several mid caps have just collapsed, even larger coins today. Now, in my opinion, these are just corrections, and we haven't even reached the magnitude of the correction we had in February as a whole. Okay, so I do believe it's healthy, but this doesn't mean that all coins are going to come out of it as strong. You have to be aware that many coins have actually topped, and they might be totally useless in the near future. So starting from Mettalex MTLX, that's the ticker, and it's one coin that is related to fetch.ai. This is an exchange essentially that has to do with some metals. At least that's as much as I actually know. You can read more stuff on it right here, decentralized commodities exchange. Now the main thing I want to say about this one is that it's actually on PancakeSwap as well as on Uniswap. But the main thing I want to let you guys know is that right now there is an airdrop going on, and I do believe that that was happening before as well. And this is being airdropped on FET holders on Binance. FET, remember, is, or fetch, like FET is a ticker, is a coin that was the first IEO on Binance. So I do believe there is a little chance that this coin might get listed on Binance. Okay, I don't know when, maybe this never happened, but it's just something to keep in mind. Now this is also on some other exchanges. Now on HitBTC the volume is tiny, Balancer volume also tiny. Now CoinTiger is faking a low volume, same with Bilaxy. But just know that, for example, like HitBTC right here has a decent volume. The Bitcoin pair is just nothing, whereas MXC also listed it fairly recently. So the previous price action was just that coin mostly on Uniswap. Okay, but it has gotten a few extra listings, and I talked about listings on the previous video. So for example, that was where I finished the last video, guys. So if I go on MTLX, we can see the chart right here. So I do believe that this consolidation, because look, it didn't have a massive pump. It was one coin that started pumping before the rest, at least against Bitcoin. It bottomed fairly early on, nice up move, nothing spectacular, nothing massive. It wasn't small, to be honest, but it's not just like that crazy. 600% is below the average pump, which I think it's about 10 to 15x. So it's not just, you know, an insane amount for any coin. Now, if it starts falling below these support levels, it could come all the way down here and then go up, like it is possible because of this right here. But again, because it's a small cap, I wouldn't say, you know, if it starts going down, maybe you want to sell. But look, the volatility for this one has been tiny and it hasn't even done much. Okay, maybe like whenever I look at these coins on, let's say, CoinGecko, and I look the marks, they do look like a bit like distribution. Okay, so potentially, maybe, yes, this might have topped. Now, it's just something that I would just say, wait and see, because this has not been confirmed. Maybe it's just chop before it goes up, and there's always that scenario where there is a sweep of all the lows and then higher. Plus, remember, for this one, you might be betting more on a listing on Binance because of the airdrop that is going on. Now, another one is Sora, which had been pumping, and many of those coins, even without being listed on a major exchange, had listed some pretty large valuations relative to, you know, what they actually are and what they actually do and the liquidity they have behind them. So when you look at it, like for example, recently got listed on Gate. Now Gate doesn't show up here, but it was just listed on some really random exchanges. Now at sometimes I do think about these exchanges and I'm like, would I prefer a coin to be listed, let's say, on the top 5 exchanges, the most liquid exchanges, the largest exchanges that do, let's say, 90% of the volume, or let's say if we had 100 exchanges to be listed on the bottom 95 exchanges? And I would actually say on the bottom 95, even though they would have much less liquidity and less people would have access to it. And the reason is because, you know, it will be a more fair price discovery. Plus, in case something happens to one of those exchanges, my coins will not have a big issue. Now, I wouldn't really trust those little exchanges, but as you can see right here, most of the volume and most of the liquidity is on Uniswap. Now, how useful will Uniswap keep being the more, Ethereum fees go up? Who knows? Okay, but now that this coin has gotten some listings, I can't say that, you know, maybe its price is real. But for example, like many of these coins, the minute they get listed on a major exchange, they start dumping massively. Now, this coin had a big correction because of all the stuff that was going on in the markets in general. Small caps were dumping anyways. So if I just look at this right here, so we had this nice pullback in this area, had like a nice double bottom, nice breakout. Like so far it has been very clean. Now on this chart, you probably don't see it, but it did come all the way back down to this mini breakout, which is a similar situation with this thing right here. So now I wouldn't be surprised if the coin does this, then it does this, and then it does this. Okay, now I would assume this is a little bit of an anomaly, but of course it would have to mean that the coin wants to go high, because look, in this kind of situation, when I see these double tops, triple tops, whatever you want to consider this, it's very hard for me to imagine that this was actually the top. Okay, like for this to go down, it would seem very odd. Especially because I do believe that for coins like that, with that price action, with that strength, there are potentially more listings coming, and potentially the people that are already inside, they don't have enough liquidity to exit. Now the liquidity on Uniswap is quite high, but even if it's, let's say, 1 million, if you control 10% of the supply and you have to, let's say, have 20-30% slippage to exit for about, 1-2 million when you hold, let's say, 10 million, then it's potentially not worth it for you. So you might be wanting the price to be higher and on some nice exchanges. and not just decentralized ones. So the next one is PRQ, Parsiq. It's also another one that has had a nice graph. It also got listed on Gate on some other exchanges like OKX and Poloniex. So it does have some bigger ones. Now Poloniex has like very little volume, so it's probably like irrelevant at this stage. I don't know how many people trade on it, whereas OKX is definitely one major exchange out there. XMO, decent one as well, but after it got hacked, I do believe that its volume has dropped. So PRQ has an interesting chart, and even the USD chart looks very solid because it does have that like nice step function that's going up nicely. So if you look at Sora or XOR, you can see a very similar situation. So you have that double top, then it goes up, then it breaks down, it comes down here. Like potentially this could be considered as support as well, because that's where the pump started, and that was where was some old resistance and support. So that's a significant area. Then it comes all the way up, does this, and then boom, higher. Now it fully tests that all-time high, and now it has the potential to go even higher. So I don't believe that these coins, assuming everything is okay with the market, of course, and we haven't really turned bearish, still in an uptrend, and it still could go much higher from here. So another one I want to talk about is Zero Chain. Definitely an interesting one. Now this could have just had its final pump. It might have been a big exit. I don't know. It also got recently listed on Gate. It is on Bitfinex as well. I don't know if it's gonna get delisted or not. I haven't seen anything about it, and it's mostly on decentralized exchanges. So if I just look at it, like the volume I had at the top was quite massive, at least at the top, at its top, versus the USD. Like this price action is not something I like. It's not something I consider great. But if I just look at the whole picture, and I would suggest that you ignore that wick, that shadow here, like this one, because it means nothing. Like this candle, yes, it is problematic, but if I just look at this, like it has tested this area quite a few times, and it could be seen as inverse head and shoulders pattern. So it's one of those coins or tokens that have shown quite a bit of strength over the last few years, and just testing those highs, and it didn't even dump that much, okay, relative to others. Now it does seem it is a lot, okay, I'm not saying it isn't, but there are other coins that have had even more catastrophic dumps of, like, you know, with similar charts, whereas this one is still visible, it's still clean, and I'm not even using the log chart. So maybe it does come a little bit more down here and then go high. Now I would say that if it breaks this area right here, it's gonna have a pretty big rally. So that's definitely something to watch, that area right here. So a break of this is a confirmation of this inverse head and shoulders pattern, and I would be expecting more upside fairly soon. Now another one that I do find very, very interesting, and I do like the chart, especially the one on the US dollar, is Liquity. So this one is just go on MXC. It is on Uniswap. Very, very nice volume for its market cap. Like now coins are much more liquid, especially thanks to Uniswap. Now I don't know how accurate these prices are, given that there are some issues. You know, having a decentralized exchange is not something easy, guys, okay? Like there might be failures, that like liquidity comes and goes. So, you know, I would say just be careful with any of that stuff. Maybe if you're buying small amounts, just know that fees might skyrocket, especially when using a contract. Now, many of these things will go on second layer, so fees are gonna get cheap. but when you're using the base layer, you have to be aware that you have to buy fairly big amounts for that to be worth it. Because if you buy, let's say, only $1,000 worth of something, you have to at least expect it to go 10x or more, because you might be paying $100 fees, and if prices go even higher, maybe you might be paying $200 or $300 fees. So you have to be very certain that that thing is gonna go up. Otherwise, I would suggest that, you know, if you're not massive on size and you want like some extra stability and reliability and a nice order book, you can use MXC, and I've got like some affiliate links down below so you can get on there and start trading. So if I just look at the chart, I do like if you saw it on the USD chart on CoinGecko, it did look very nice. Okay, now I'm assuming it's going up because Bitcoin is going down, and that one was staying flat in USD terms. Okay, that's what's happening right now. So that's a massive sign of strength. That's a very big sign of strength, and this is something that I would think it's gonna go higher. So it's been going sideways for about 2-3 weeks, and my opinion is that it can go much higher, especially given the strength. Like now, when you're looking at the Bitcoin chart, if a coin is going up in Bitcoin terms as the Bitcoin price is going down, that's a big sign of strength. Of course, that means that the coin either is going up or it's tapping a lot less versus the dollar compared to what Bitcoin is doing. And the next one is E-Radix EXRD. Now this one is kind of larger, about 150 million. It's listed on a few exchanges, got listed on Gate, Bitfinex, MXC, and some smaller ones. And I'm not gonna lie, the chart is not perfect. I'm not a massive fan, but if it starts breaking out for real, then this could be set up for a fairly nice pump. So if we look at this, we have this triangle. Then initially it looked like it broke down. Maybe it has broken down, so you have to be very careful with this one. But I would suggest that if it starts breaking above this, then this is the first target right here. So maybe we get something, let's say we have the breakout, and then let's say the market comes all the way down there, and then we have this first target, maybe a little pullback all the way up here, and then boom, further to new all-time highs. Okay, or maybe at least come and test this breakdown level right there. So that's the final coin for me, guys. I hope you like my explanations. I hope you like the videos that I'm making. I do want to go into some stuff that not many people talk about, because you might be looking at those things and you might be wondering, what are these things? How would I be trading them? What should I be doing? And in my opinion, first of all, you start by having a low size. You don't bet much on those coins. Now, if any of those coins you can trade it with leverage, I would say no. Don't use leverage on any of those coins, and be prepared to lose it all. Okay, when I say be prepared to lose it all, I do mean it. Like, there is a ton of risk with any of those coins. Okay, maybe they don't pump, because for example this one has been lagging very, very badly. So if you go into EXRD this year, it has gone nowhere. At least against Bitcoin, it hasn't done anything. So now, why would it do it now? The case is that it hasn't pumped, so if it starts pumping, maybe we do have a very nice setup for a very big rally, because it is on some exchanges. Again, I do believe exchange listings matter. Now, the more coins exist, the more listings they have, the more diluted things become, and eventually that's part of what crashes the market. There are too many coins that do go down. Maybe eventually a lot of that money flows back into Ethereum or Bitcoin or some other coins that are the main chains, maybe like BNB. So I would say be very careful with your picks. I'm going deeper into these ones because I want to touch on some hotter stuff, some stuff that maybe you have been wondering, maybe some stuff that you've been holding. Maybe, you know, I have to warn you that there is a bit of a correction coming and then a bit of a pump. So I want to just look at some of the good performers that might have more juice to them, or, you know, some of the stuff that are about to have a rally soon. And if I do think that something has stopped, I'm gonna let you guys know. That doesn't mean that the token is bad, that doesn't mean that the project is bad, but I would just say the truth that maybe the price looks a little bit up. It's not FUD. I'm mostly looking at technical stuff with many of these coins. I just briefly know what they do. I'm mostly focused on their liquidity, their listings, and, you know, the technical analysis of the token. Now, if I do know some extra stuff, some extra FA, I will just let you know. Of course, I don't know all the stuff. For many of these coins, like I said, I focus on the first stuff. Now, for example, on Mettalex, I just did know that because I read the announcement and I was following that one for some time because I did own it early on. So if you just want to know more stuff, guys, just follow me on Twitter. Come visit my TradingView page. Give me a follow on TradingView. Join my channel on Telegram, and of course, like, subscribe, leave a comment down below. Comments really do help, guys. Even if it's a bad one, even if it's a positive or negative feedback comment, or just something that you would like me to talk about. Maybe you like some of those tokens, and if I see several comments about them, I will talk more about them. And that's what essentially happened with AMP recently, because I had a lot of people talk about it in the comment section, and that's why I mentioned it again. So once again, guys, thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.